is the playlist, and we have special guest here today in his own studio, actually, Dame Dash Studios. Dame Dash here with me.
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm good.
You good? So I had a sneak peek at the music a few moments ago. It was like our own, it was like our own private little listening session.
Absolutely.
It was dope. And one of the songs that I really liked was Window Shopping. How did that come about?
All right, so what happened is I have a girl, right? Roc-A-Fella.
Yes.
And, I haven't been the most traditionally monogamous person. I really never had a solid relationship other than Aaliyah, which was it was almost like we grew into a certain kind of relationship, but never such a committal kind of a thing. She was doing her thing, I was doing mine. And when I got with Roc-A-Fella, it was like I had to change my whole, I had to rewire myself. So when girls come around, usually I would just do what I have to do. I used to be very woofy about things. I love women and I'm proactive. I shoot my shot but never violate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially not to the extent to get a lawsuit. But I definitely am an appreciator of women, and women have always been somewhat of an escape to me to all my problems. It's the only time I really feel balanced. So now when girls come around, certain girls, they know I got a girl, they may have a man, and they may sometimes, act like they want to work just to hang out.
Right.
And I know this game because, I'm selling a television network. Everything else I do is really for love. So when someone comes around, it's not like I'm gonna make so much money off of it. Sometimes I just kind of like to experience it almost like a date.
Right.
And I call that window shopping. So, it was a situation where I was like, yo, this is window shopping, and we just made a song about it.
Right. So you just kind of look but don't touch type of thing, right?
Like I can imagine it, and then, ultimately there's a win there. But you have to be on the same sheet of paper.
Right.
So, I don't believe in cheating on my girl. You know what I mean? I never do. I never have. We always had a very honest relationship, which is why we're in a relationship. And it's been like, over a decade of just us having fun every day and understanding who we are and just being honest. I just don't believe that, like if you have a best friend, you should be honest with your best friend. They should accept you for who you are. And if you have certain kind of urges, y'all should at least, do it together if you're gonna do it at all. And if not, then it should be window shopping.
Definitely. I think not only in relationships, romantic relationships, I think period in just any type of relationships, meeting people, you never know what their motive is and what they want from you, especially you having your own, business and doing what you do, your TV network. I'm sure a lot of people come around and you don't know who's real and who's not. How do you differentiate that being in the industry so long?
I usually have a good sense of character when people come around. What tends to happen sometimes is I have history with somebody from like 20 years ago or 30. And sometimes I don't remember why we stopped having certain kinds of interaction. And then I give them another shot based on the history I remember. And then they may come around and do something that I didn't remember or wasn't characteristic of what they did, years ago. But generally when I meet people, I can just tell their agenda. I'm not stupid.
Right.
It's kind of obvious logic is there. Sometimes people look the other way, but I tend to deal with things direct. So if I feel something, I say it. I don't like gray areas. I don't believe in playing games. And if I have an agenda, not saying them up front, or if there's a chance of something happening, I'll be like, yo, I'm a grown ass man and you're gonna be around here all day. It might be a point where I might try you. You know what I mean? So if you don't want to get tried, then get up out of here. Or let's do some business.
Right.
But if we ain't doing that, like what you coming around for?
Right.
You trying to give me a charge? Like I ain't gonna just pretend I want to do business with you because you're cute. I might say, all right, let's do a date and let the date be business. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
Right.
Because my lifestyle is my business. I want to do things that I love. But I'm a person that can make people's dreams come true. With the snap of a finger. My dreams are big, but my for better for somebody else. Like they could just get famous or make their dream come true just by being in my dream.
Yeah.
Or just being around. So if you don't bring anything to the table on any level, then there's really no purpose to being here. Everyone here has a purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're a beautiful person, which always makes things, inspiring, I don't want to be frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I'm human, so I'll be like, yo, let's be honest. Like, eventually I'm gonna get at you, or I'm gonna try. I just know how I am, and I got a girl. So let's talk about it. Let's get this out the way now, so we get manage our expectations of each other, so you don't act surprised. Some girls know what's about to happen, and then they want to act surprised when it does. Like, oh, I didn't know you liked me. You just came around in a bathing suit every single day in my vicinity, and you're 10 days straight, and you expected me not to slip. And then you want to get mad and act surprised, and it's like, we adults.
Yeah, I think a lot of women fall short of that and not realizing, like, certain people's motives or how attractive they are, and they think, oh, they just like me, or they're nice, or oh, it's not me, and then they kind of fall into this naive sense of
I think they
being.
do it. I think they just look the other way.
You think so?
Hell yeah. I mean, I've had girls like sign on to things that they have no agenda of really, delivering on, just to get what they want in that moment. And or be like, oh, he got a girl, or he got this, or he got that, but I like him anyway. They just look the other way. I think people adjust to what behooves them. And also with girls, sometimes like they'll mess with you, but then when they get a boyfriend, they don't even call you and tell you. They just fucking cut you the fuck off. I hate that shit.
So you would rather be like, yo, I'm seeing someone.
I mean,
that's it.
I would do that.
Yeah.
If I'm messing with a girl and she liked me, I ain't gonna just disappear. I'd be like, look, now, we have to rearrange our relationship, but I ain't gonna just leave you dry and cold and not care about how it affects you.
Yeah. No, I'm guilty of that. I've done that. Dated guys, seen guys, and met someone and just
cut them right off.
Cut them off.
And he didn't do nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. I feel like sometimes, from my past experiences, I'm like, okay, like there's no reason why I didn't communicate this with this person anymore. Like we just not talk to them. I don't know. I just feel that it's like a respect level of like I wouldn't want my dude going back and explaining himself to a female like, oh, I'm seeing someone, like just what's the point?
And what if you run into them outside and they just kiss? It's just out of order because they're like, you ain't telling me you got a man. You know what I mean? And also, when you with somebody, you care about their feelings. So it'd be like women do that to men all the time. If a man does that to a woman, women tend to think that that was a pretty cold thing, but women are ice cold when it comes to when they get what they want. They'll just freeze a nigga, put them right on ice, and then throw them out when another dude leaves again, and be like, okay, and make that call, and be like, you know what I mean? But regardless, I don't judge. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
So again, I like to be honest, and I like to be the type of person that's very upfront about what the potential of something can be, and not play about it.
Right.
Because it saves a lot of frustration. And then if you sign on to it, you can't be mad at anything else that comes after that. You signed on to that. Like I'm like, yo, you come around, I'm gonna try it. So don't come around if you don't want to get tried.
Someone once told me that men and women are not supposed to be friends. We're not made that way.
No, you gotta be best friends.
Well, right, but there's a limit. There's a limit.
My best friend.
No. Meaning like friends, period. Like men and women are not made to just be like besties. Oh, that's my bestie. Like men and women are attracted to each other. Yeah. That's where I'm getting to.
I think a man is just supposed to know what his job is.
Right.
His job is to be a slave for a woman, just to make her happy. That's why, God gave men muscles and more testosterone to go and be more physical. And another woman just really marinating, creating life to be the gods that they are. And I feel like women created men. Because men are generally kind of stupid, and they always want some kind of money. You know what I mean? It'd be like, so women control everything. They give life, and if a man doesn't show up, they'll raise a child. And it's very rare that a man will do that without a woman.
That's very true. So I want to go back to the music, window shopping, listening to the record. It sounds very, very different from what people are used to, hearing from you and the people that you've associated with yourself. What made you create your sound to what this record sounds like?
It's just how I was feeling. And, what people don't know is I did a lot of rock and roll.
Yeah, they don't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, I put the Black Keys on. I did this project, Black Rock, in 2009, before they were the #1 rock group in the world. I'm the first person that really gave them a visual, put them with RZA, put them with Q-Tip, put them with Mos Def, a lot of other artists, Pharoah Monch. And, I just like the combination of all sensibilities. And I'm really into live instrumentation, so, like Ali, the drummer, he's a superior drummer.
With the whole drum setup behind us.
Yeah, the Lauren superior musician, but he plays the bass, but he plays every instrument, like the cello and the violin. And then Tash is literally the best guitar player in the world. So also I'm showcasing the instruments, and you know, I'm influenced by a lot of different music, so I don't really subscribe to one. You know what I mean? It's just based on my experience. So it's just a combination of how I feel, the vibration, and then also giving a serious, sick live show. Now you gotta remember, I'm 48. I never really made an album where I'm the lead
Right.
on anything.
Exactly.
So also, I was always giving other artists my sensibilities and what I wanted to hear, but no one can execute what I want to hear as it relates to this live instrumentation and this rock and roll, mixed with every other sensibility that's in my heart.
Right.
So that's just what this is. And it's more of a love thing. I'm not trying to make no bread. You know, I got a television network. But in teaching people, it's like, fuck it, I might as well just do it myself, and that's how I'm feeling right now.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm in a good position where I could do things I love and not worry about if it makes money or not. Certain things.
Even your process of recording, you're actually in the studio with the live band playing behind you. I mean, from my experience going into studios, normally, you know, the artist is in the booth and the band is in a whole separate room. Like,
No, I can't.
yeah, so.
This is when you sitting in the booth.
Right.
So the whole band's right here, and we're recording live performances, and then we go and tweak it in the studio and make sure the levels are right.
How do you think that makes your creative process different than someone else that does it the other way? Not just.
I mean, I don't consider anything I do to be normal. You know, I think anything done like anyone else. I mean, I'm influenced by people, but you know, you have to have a point of view. You have to do certain things different. Everyone should have a different process. So, you know, I don't judge my process compared to anybody else's. I just know what sound I want to make, and you know how many different kinds of things and energies I want to put in at one time. And also, it's important to me because I don't care about a record selling or streaming. I just want to really have a good time performing. You know, I really have a good time on the stage. So, you know, it's just me being me. Like, I've come into myself as a creative as well as a businessman, completely independent on both sides. So now I do what I want, how I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, and more than likely it's more safe just to do it with me.
Right.
You know, because I'm gonna show up. And again, it's not for bread. Sometimes I do music with people and they get on my nerves. I'm like, yo, this shit ain't making me enough money to go through this bullshit. So I got a lot of albums I didn't put out.
Yeah.
And then also like getting people to show up and then to rehearse. Like, I just enjoy really making music. And when we make music, the process is we just play all day.
Yeah.
And then we perform, like no matter what, we on the stage, no matter what, there's an audience, you know, and then we mix it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it's about, just loving what you do. And you just actually ran through a whole list of what you're a business owner, you know, you're a father, you're a husband, you're creating music. And a lot of people, their main excuse for not doing something is, I don't have time. But you're a man here having 7 jobs in one. For those that are saying, oh, I have no time, what kind of advice do you have to say? What do you have to say about that?
Every day start something. And every day finish something, you know? And then you're always chipping away at your dream. It's 24 hours in a day. You don't work more than 8. So that means you got, what, you know, 16 left, right? No, 18, right?
Yeah, 18.
16. So you got 16 hours. You don't need to sleep more than 8.
Right.
And if you're complacent with where you're at, I know I'm not, you'll sleep. But for me, I can't sleep comfortably knowing that there is my dreams that I want to make realities that are going to take care of the people I love. I just can't sleep fucked up. I can't get high fucked up. I can't get drunk fucked up. I can't do nothing unless something or a piece of my dream is coming true. Every single day, and my dream isn't work because I love it. So everything we just named, I love being a husband, I love being a dad, I love making music, I love making art, I love making clothes, I love making movies. It don't feel like work, but either way, 12 hours of the day, I'm living. And every day I live, my lifestyle is making my dreams come true. And I think I've architected a situation where it really only feels like vacation. This shit ain't work.
Right.
You know, it's funny to meet everyone else is scared to attack their dreams and like kind of like walk away from what they are
Or they're comfortable.
used to. You know, what they're dependent on, but that's the most independent thing to do, is be dependent on somebody else for a check.
Yeah.
And not be in the driver's seat or be able to push the gas when you feel like it.
Yeah.
So this is a spaceship, and anyone in here could push the gas. Anyone in here could, you know, steer the steering wheel. I don't even want to be on the steering wheel every day. You know, I just want to drive when it's time for me to get where I gotta go. But I also let people use my spaceship when I'm not using it. And some people take advantage of it, and most people don't. You know, I got cameras here. I got movie cameras here, lenses, movie lenses. I have recording. I have sound. We have people. This is a paintbrush, and if you're an artist and you don't paint, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But in this environment, we make dreams come true effortlessly. We're just honest about what we want, and we make an honest effort to make it happen. And we don't wait for people to bring things to us. We go get it aggressively, unapologetically, and dressed well.
That's right. What would you look for if someone came to you and said, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z, I want to work with you? What's something that you look for? Do you go off energy, or?
I look for what they bring to the table for me. So there's always should be a fair exchange. So
Absolutely.
if I'm doing something for you, you got to be doing something for me. So for example, you bring a demographic that I don't have. You know, I'm not coming outside. I'm not on the radio. You know what I mean? You're talking to the masses where I'm not. So you bring something to the table. You bring artists here that I probably would never have heard of just because I'm 48. So also, you know, you making sure it's fresh in here, right?
Right.
So you bring something to the table. And also your other half does a lot, you know, with the mixing and recording. You know what I'm saying? So I also like that as well. You know, a couple that hustles together, you know, is happy together.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, when one wins, the other is happy. When the other wins, you know, he's passing assists to each other is key. I hustle with my girl every day. So all the way around the books, I look for a lot of things. Balance. I look for people to be fair. I look to make sure that they're gonna look out for others before themselves. And I want to make sure I'm having fun. It's effortless, because at the end of the day, like, I don't really need nobody else's bread. You know, I'm doing a network, and you know, just one thing I'm doing can make me enough money so that I can live well. I'm living well now. And to me, I'm what I consider broke. You know.
What do you consider broke? That's interesting.
You know.
Talk to me about that.
Well, you know, number one, I consider myself broke and wealthy at the same time. I have love, I have happiness, but what the rest of the world wants to see is a lot of volume of money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, not having a certain amount of money makes me feel broke. But you know, my broke is usually somebody else's rich. I have high expectations of myself. And that's the reason why I do 10 things at one time instead of one. I don't even think it's fair to the rest of the world if I do that. Because then I can't affect the world in 10 different ways. And everything I do always stimulates the economy. It always changes the way people approach things. And it always makes more competition to be better and evolve. And that's what I'm here for, to shake shit up so people don't get complacent. So that you have something to compare what you're doing to. You know, I want everyone to look at me and say, look what he does, look what I do.
Right.
Should I do it better? Should I do it worse? Am I evolving? Am I looking out for my children? Am I looking out for my girl? Am I getting better? Are other people benefiting from what I'm doing is what I'm teaching.
Yeah.
You know, and making that the cool, and also being intelligent, and also, you know, not talking about shit, really doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about motherfuckers complaining they don't do a fucking thing.
I experience the same thing all the time. People complaining about, hey, I haven't gotten to X point, and I've been doing it for so long, and it's like, well, have you really been doing it? I've put people in certain positions to create a career. I put someone, in a room in Atlantic Records, and just to leave. And I just thought back to it the other day. I was like, if they spent the time to do this internship for 3 years, they would have been sitting probably in an office with a position that's built from just interning, right? I think people forget that putting the work in, putting the work in is what gets you to the next step, the next level, to where you want to be. Even if that's not where you want to be, you're in a room full of people where you're going to meet other individuals that will help you progress to the next level. I think people forget that, and they just want the instant gratification, the instant win, and life doesn't happen that way.
Well, the question is, what are you doing with your time?
Right.
So if that person had the opportunity to intern or do something else, what did they choose to do instead of that? You know what I mean? Like, what were their options to get in the game, or did they sit at home and not do nothing? It's as long as you're evolving, as long as you're working every day, as long as you're going to it Because you might get an internship at Atlantic and learn what not to do. You could pick a Rolodex, you could get these connections and say, I could do this on my own.
Right.
But, you know, at least you're behind. Like, I feel like Roc-A-Fella was an internship for me. I learned a lot about the other side and what I didn't want to do, and actually who my competition would be, and like, why would I listen to a bunch of lames and nerds that don't do shit and get told what to do and just stay in the same fucking desk and office, the same crowd for the same 25 years straight, you know, and then just, you know, and just watch, you know, younger people get old and just pass you by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I do think it's
What made that click for you? I think a lot of people don't realize that and sit at the same job for 20 plus years just hating what they're doing. What in your head made that click for you?
Never had a job.
Well, when you're at Roc-A-Fella and stuff, what made it click for you? Like, you know what, I'm gonna move my circle.
Everyone was stupid. You know,
What defines stupid for you?
when you don't worry about things, they yield. When you worry about things based on emotion, when you're a man and you act like you got a vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you act tough in the street, but you let some nerd tell you what to do.
Right.
You know, when you betray your friends to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You sell out your whole fucking culture just so you can be all right, self-preservation. And when you sell out your whole culture so another culture can eat. You know, all that shit was disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, when you pretend you're just a figurehead in the title, but you're not really the business that you claim to be.
Right.
When you think it's all right to exploit people and take from them and get mad at people that are delivering the truth. When you skim from someone else's budget and when you try to fucking exploit an artist. I didn't want to see none of that.
Yeah.
And also none of these motherfuckers had no real bread.
Right.
They was all pretending. They was always broke. Always desperate. Still are. You know, always pretending. It's a big farce.
Yeah.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm about real work, real action, margin. Not about perception. I'm about reality. I'm about being happy, not sad. I'm about laughing, not crying. You know, but I see everybody fucking depressed in that business. I see everybody always acting like they're happy in front of a camera, but really sad as soon as they say cut. You know, lonely, not living.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think,
a
in the
whole lot of
industry
insecurity.
definitely fight that a lot. A lot of people that I know personally on different levels that act like they're happy but truly are not, even
All
in
of
the
them.
relationships. Yeah.
All of them do.
Yeah.
Every single one that I put on is unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's perceived successful.
They're really.
It ain't really what it seems like. And I always laugh, and I always seem to be the happiest.
Right.
I always seem to be the one that's having the most fun. You know, like, I can't say I don't have my share of angry times, you know, when I get emotional, everyone sees it, it's on camera. But day to day, I'm having a ball.
Right. You
I'm
have your own
having a blast.
company, your own network. You're
I'm just
happy.
having a ball.
You said it earlier.
Really fucking happy.
Right.
And it hasn't been new happy. I've been happy for decades now. Ever since I quit the music business, I've been fucking extremely happy.
And it's funny you say you quit the music business, but you didn't. I think you created your own sort of sound and
It
your
wasn't
own
music anymore. The music is a part of everything else I'm doing. I created a television network. I made Disney for independent people that don't like to compromise, and I'm doing it. We here in Burbank. Those are movie cameras. I got everything. Actually, no record company has this. Most television networks outsource, where I do everything direct.
in-house.
I could do it when I feel like it and how, and I can work with who I want to, when I want to. I have a television network. I have a streaming service, you know, and also we have the music, but we got the clothes, we got the liquor, we got the weed, we got everything. And if you notice, it ain't crowded in here.
Yeah.
Shit is going down daily, and it's just a select amount of people that I want to be around that deserve to be around.
Yeah, basically runs itself and does what it needs to do, which is
and
amazing.
I went through a long editing process to get to that point.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's hard to find like-minded people. It really is. It is a process. You know, like, even though there's not a lot of people in here, there's still active competition.
Absolutely.
Like, who's the freshest?
Absolutely.
You know, we got to make a record a day. You got, like I said, you got to start something and finish something every day in here. You don't come in here unless you're about that action. It ain't really it's hangout, but it's work hangout.
Yeah.
And that's the way
You
life
gotta
should
bring
be.
something to the table, like you said. Bring something to the table, start something, finish something.
And you gotta have the stamina. You got to have the stamina to work. But it should never feel like work if you're doing something that you enjoy.
Right. So now you're creating this project. You started. You said you're gonna start a record today and finish it today. And how many songs do you plan on putting together?
I got like 30 records.
Wow.
You know,
you ready?
So we're doing we're mixing right now 10 at a time. And what starts to happen is while we mix and while we rehearse, we always make a record.
Okay.
So it's infinity of records right now.
Okay, so just a continuous process, mixing and recording, mixing and recording.
Mix, record, mix, record. Watch that. It's about putting shit out. It's about finishing.
So each project, are you gonna have 10 records on each, songs on each project, or is it gonna be all 30 on one?
No.
No?
As of now, it's 10 at a time, because we can only mix 10 at a time. We can't perform but 10 at a time. So, it's just while I'm in that moment, I'll make a record, and a week or two later, it's old to me because I made 10 other ones. So while I'm excited about the record, I want to put it out and then get to the next one. And I'll revisit it, but we have so many, man. It's crazy.
So is any of the stuff that you recorded out already?
Yeah.
And it's not out yet? When do you plan?
It's not coming out unless you play it first. I'm giving y'all dibs because
Okay.
D-Pause.
All right.
We call in the office we call him D-Pause. He's been mixing, so as much as he can mix.
Where'd the D-Pause come from?
It's can't just be calling somebody a man D, like Paul, what up?
Oh God, I got it. Okay, got it. That's
but
hilarious.
he's actively in the Fresh Fest, so I fuck with him because he makes the record, but he also be having other people on their toes as far as fresh. Yeah, it's important to me that everybody's fresh. This is the Fresh Fest.
Absolutely, I did hear about that earlier. That's a whole thing going on. I said, well, listen, I kind of just felt the energy, and I came in fresh today.
Good. Yes, you did. Yeah, it's about making an effort to be aware of everything.
Right.
So everything from head to toe should be fresh. It's not half fresh, new outfit and old sneakers. Not and dirty nails. No. Everything got to be right.
Right.
It's about the details and the subtle embellishments of life.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. It's just how life is. You got to bring your A game every single day. Exactly, because some people don't understand that, and they just walk around bummy like they don't care. And there's the next person right there ready to do 100 times better.
Again, it's about effort.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say don't pay your bills or buy some clothes. I would just say taste is conveniently cheap. So, you don't have to. You just have to make an effort, just like brushing your teeth, or clipping your nails, or brushing your hair. Anything. Just getting a white T-shirt that costs $5 if you can't afford to buy some a brand name.
Exactly.
It's just effort, And I think the more you accept, your life is gonna bring you what you accept. So if you accept bum, then you're gonna get bummed.
Exactly.
If your expectation of yourself is fresh every day and your energy is focused toward that, fresh on every level, not just, superficial things, but you're fresh in your soul, fresh in your gear, fresh in the way you do everything. Taste translates in every category.
Other than style, what would you say your fresh is?
My intellect, my work ethic, my love for other people, my ability to generate income, have ideas. My fresh is infinity.
I like that. How would you, so a lot of people say, oh, I love this person, I love that person. You've mentioned love a lot, whether it's your relationship with your wife, your kids, your family. What do you think defines love?
Time I spend with them and how I take care of them, how I make sure that they're in a bubble and they only do what they want to do. I protect them. Love is how much you do for others that you care about, not how much you do for yourself.
Right, exactly. I mean, I've heard this quote time after time. It doesn't matter how long you've known someone, a person can come in your life tomorrow and, do more for you than...
It's about action, not words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about that action.
Exactly, definitely.
But again, someone you love, you don't let them feel pain. I'd rather feel pain for the people I love because I can take it.
Absolutely.
I feel pain and I take loss so I can learn, so other people don't have to feel or take loss. They can learn from my mistakes or my learning experience.
What's a mistake you think you've made in this time of your life that you think that you could share that would inspire people out there?
I mean, I think it's about evolving. You know, I'm young, or I was young. So the things I did when I was younger, I'm not doing now. But that's what happens when you're young. And I've always been sort of an overachiever for my age. So
Right.
I can't say that anything has been a mistake because I've learned from it. I could say there's certain business things I would have done different. That would have probably, you know, saved me a lot of time.
Like what?
Just trusting men. I don't trust men. And making examples out of people legally a little quicker. Shit like that. But other than that, you know, the time I spent with the detours because people were not being honorable and robbing me, I learned so much, and the experiences are priceless. So I've had having such a great life, I wouldn't do anything different. Except, you know, I regret the time that I don't spend with my children based on their relationships with their mother.
Right.
But moving forward, it won't be that way.
I love that. I love that. I think you always have to take certain situations and learn from them, and, you know, take the good with the bad. And I feel like a lot of people out there, they get so stuck on what went wrong, what's so bad, oh, my life is this way, my life is that way. But it seems like you've taken those situations and you're like, you know, I'm going to change it and go in this direction instead, and share that with people.
You know, life is a war, and there's battles. You lose some battles, you win more. I just, you know, I focus more on winning the war and not, you know, the little battles that I have to learn from. At the end of the day, the war is where I wanted to be, and it's set up nicely. And the fight has been fun. So, you know, I'm just never mad at life because I'm having too much fun.
That's right. And all this fun with this music, and I'm so excited to hear the rest of it when you drop the project. When is the plan to put the first one out? Do you have that set up
So
yet?
we finish mixing, I'm gonna just drop it, you know.
And when's the show?
I'd actually hit Kanye like, yo, bro, however you putting your records out, just put it to your shit.
Oh.
See if he helps out.
There you go. I mean, you've been making a lot of noise lately with this music, and I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Thank
and
you,
I
I
know,
appreciate it.
no, I really am, because it's different.
Thank
It
you.
doesn't sound like what you're hearing on the radio currently. It doesn't sound like what you're hearing all these artists put out.
Can you do me a favor?
It's a dope sound. What do you need?
I'd like to perform this in front of your whole crew.
Let's do it.
Some select people that you invite to come through that you think would actually relate to this music.
I would love to, for sure.
Let me know, I'm down.
I think let's definitely put something together, make a flyer, have some publicists
A
come
flyer,
through,
a commercial.
radio people.
Yeah, you know, again, it's not like this shit is, you know, 100 cool people.
Yeah,
Because that's what I do, under 100. I'm not about volume, I'm about quality. So
absolutely.
give me some quality, cool people here that could just vibe out, you know, smoke some weed, drink if they want to, lawsuit free, and let's just have some fun.
Let's do it. When do you want to do it?
As soon as possible. I'm going to New York for 10 days. We can do it as soon as we get back.
Okay.
So we can do it in February, anytime.
All right, perfect. Perfect. That's a plan.
It's a plan.
Let's do it.
And I liked your last show. I saw it, and the response was good.
Thank you.
So I like that
Yes.
you're here consistently.
It's crazy because, you know, we spoke. I just started my YouTube channel. It's my first interview that I uploaded, and we're already at like 250 views. So super exciting.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a place to build. And
Thank you.
you know, you bring something
I
to the table, so
appreciate you.
we build it. That's why I'm
right.
here sitting and talking
We
to you.
building.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you. This is what it is. I'm Kalisha, Dame Dash, Power 106, and this is The Playlist. Stay tuned.